So several of you have been emailing and asking how this card is done. It's really very simple, but this technique makes it look so beautiful, doesn't it? So what we're going to do is we're going to take the embossing folder that is nicely rich, deep 3D, and we're going to put our ink on the side that is debossed. We're going to put our ink on the debossed side. That means it's where these trees are depressed. Now, you can do it where you swipe it back and forth, which is the ones that I've seen a lot of customers bring in. But the way that I did it was I ran it in little small circles. And I want to be sure that I get my ink all over the whole piece. And I'll go back over it. And I'm using a Distress Oxide, but you can use Distress ink. Anything that's got a water base to it is going to work. And I kind of like that. I think that's enough. Now you could spritz it with water, or you could spritz your paper with a little bit of water. But this one I'm just going to do dried it, and we'll see how it comes out. So you're just going to lay it on here, and you're going to close it out, and we're going to run it through our die cut machine, but we're just going to be embossing it. All right, so you're going to make sure that you've got your right plates. Since this is 3D, you're probably not going to need both plates on here. I'm just using the one for my sandwich.
It might need a flipper thing on there. I'm not sure.
And we're going to run it through. Now let's see what we end up with. All right, so this one, I've got some little swirly marks in there, and that's totally fine. If you don't like that, you could spritz a little bit. This ink pad doesn't seem to be as juicy as mine was when I did it. So what I've done, though, to finish it off is I've gone back and I've added a little bit of a glue pen and then some of the Prisma glitter just to give it a little bit of sparkle. Now let's try it where we're going to spritz our paper, or we'll spritz directly onto our pad and see what we come up with. Let's try a second technique where we're going to rub the ink on here. And you can tell I've actually inked up my pad a little bit more to get more color on there.
And this is still on the debossed side.
That is correct. And I don't think I want to spritz directly onto this because I don't want any of this ink to run down into where the tree trunk and limbs are. So I'm going to try to get rid of some of those marks. I'm going to spritz real lightly onto my paper. Just a little bit to get it damp, and I'm going to put the damp side down right onto the embossing folder, and we're going to run it through again, and let's see what we end up with. And ooh, this one came out nice and dark, didn't it? So
lovely.
Once it dries, you're going to end up with a little bit more of effect like this one that I did for the original.
Do you heat dry or do you let it dry?
I just let it dry naturally, but if you're in a hurry and you want to get that glitter on, so you've got sparkle going, you could heat dry it.
And what paper are you using? Just Nina?
Nina 110.
Do you think you get a better result if you use Bristol?
Possibly. I do love Bristol with my oxides, but this we're not trying to blend.
We're just looking for some background.
We're looking for background. Yep.
Lovely. Thank you, Karen. Thank you very much. It's a beautiful card and a super easy technique that gives you a lot of other options with your embossing folders.
Hope this helps.